just because I made Ethan Carter's foster sister apologize after she maliciously stuck me with a needle for half an hour while I was sick and getting a shot. The next day my private photos were up all over the internet for $6. I covered the back of my bruised hand to find Ethan Carter, only to hear him kibitzing with a friend in front of the hotel bellhop. Check. A pair of Sophia Grant's innocent girls. Want them or not, ha ha ha. I want them, I want them. Ethan, you're too much of a good sport. You really put the brothers through their paces. By the way, Ethan, you put Sophia Grant's intimate photos up all over the internet. Aren't you afraid she'll break up with you or come after you if she finds out? My boyfriend Ethan Carter let out a light laugh and raised his hand to touch up a mahjong with a picture of my collarbone on it and threw it out. How dare she? She's completely exposed to everyone. And now she's begging me to marry her for her honor. So how dare she break up with me? The others cooed and laughed obscenely. So Ethan, will you marry her? If not, when you're tired of playing with her, will you give your brothers a chance to play with her? What did Sophia Grant do to you, Ethan? Why are you suddenly messing with her like this? The original hangdog Ethan Carter heard this and immediately straightened his body. His words were disgusted. Xing Xing was only sticking the needle in her a few more times. She was overly sensitive like that. It's not like she didn't know that Xing Xing was still in her internship. And she still had the nerve to ask Xing Xing to apologize for giving Xing Xing a hard time. She had to be taught a lesson. Or else she really took herself for a root vegetable. With my naked back photo was thrown out by him, landed on the desktop muffled 2 sounds. Also let my breath suffocated for a few seconds. Point 1 Ethan. Then how did you think of selling the private photos out at $6 a piece? That's way too cheap. Bro guys, I could have bought the whole set you sent out for $100 or so casually. Even the roses down the street are $9.09 a piece. Ethan Carter hooked his lips in utter disdain. I just want everyone to know that she, Sophia Grant, can't even compare to a cheap rose on the street. And doesn't she love to embarrass sound? Then I'll embarrass her even more. As if he thought of something, he took out his cell phone and unlocked it. In the next instant, a broken, shattered voice came to mind on the phone. I still have videos and recordings here. How about $7.09 for one? Which one of you wants it? My heart sank. And my tears had long since broken. I knew exactly when that broken sound came from. The screams in the room were so loud that I almost drowned in the viciously cold tide of cheers. I bit my lip in death until the taste of rest spread through my mouth and only slightly regained a shred of sanity. Ethan Carter had taken me a long time to catch up with him. He was the perfect boyfriend in everyone's eyes, putting me first in everything. He's been in a relationship for 4 years, and he's always had a strong desire for sex. Not only that, he also has some various small requirements. In the affair, like to buy me a lot of role-playing costumes. He will be extra fascinated. I always thought it was because those would make him more physically and mentally pleasurable. I didn't realize that the real reason was to facilitate the video. A nasty chill crawled up my back as the laughter in the room grew more shrill. Some time ago, because of the sudden drop in weather, I caught a cold. After a few days of consecutive medication that didn't help, Ethan Carter was distraught. So he drove me to the hospital where his adopted sister was. Until then, I had only heard comments about Lily Carter from him and these friends of his. Lily, she's the apple of Ethan's eye. She's simple and kind-hearted, and Ethan loves her to bits. The truth is also true. Although Lily Carter is only 24 years old like me, but when she speaks, she seems to be 3 or 4 years younger than me, which inevitably makes people want to take care of her more. But it was clearly the first time we had met, and she seemed to hate me. When she was sticking needles in me, I could clearly feel that she was intentionally sticking them crookedly, and the pain of each stick being crooked was extremely obvious. In just a few injections, the back of my hand was mostly bruised. Although she looked at me with some embarrassment, she did not say a word of apology. In the end, It was the kind nurse on duty who couldn't stand it anymore and found a reason to get rid of Lily Carter. So I was able to get on the floor without any problems. Nevertheless, I was still uncomfortable, which is why I asked her to apologize to me. Lily Carter was not convinced, but under the pressure of Ethan Carter's lips mumbled and spat out 3 words to me. "I'm sorry." After saying that, she ran away with tears in her eyes. Ethan Carter didn't go after me. Even then he was smiling and reassuring me in a warm voice that it was okay. But then he posted a private photo of me all over the internet just to take it out on his precious Lily Carter. Obviously before this, he even took my hand and said, "After you and Sonic meet, we'll arrange for both parents to meet and talk about marriage. But if he really wanted to marry me, why would he do this to me?" So it was all just lip service. And is the "I love you" he said to me countless times over the past 4 years just talk? I suddenly remembered the former party when Ethan Carter's a good friend drunkenly said, "If it is not Ethan Concern and Lily's nominal brother and sister name, now where is your turn to worry about our sis?" Heart was a pair of invisible hands gripped together. Pain, I could not catch my breath. I don't know how I walked out of the hotel. I only felt that the moment I appeared under the public's line of sight, the gazes that everyone threw at me were tinged with scorn and teasing. A huge sense of shame and fear wrapped around me, and with a shaking hand I dialed my parents who were far away from home doing experiments. Because of their special status, Mom and Dad have to travel abroad every year for 3 years of secret experiments. During this period no one can contact them. Today is the day that Mom and Dad's experiment ends. When I got on the phone, my parents' concerned tone made my hard-supported heart break the dike. After crying bitterly, I wiped away my tears. "Dad, Mom, I've decided that I'm going to commit to the experiment with you and do something meaningful with my life." I'd given up on the idea of committing to the experiment with Mom and Dad before because Ethan Carter had whined in my ear about a few things about not wanting me to go too far away from him and getting lovesick. I figured that as long as my relationship with Ethan Carter was stable enough, then it seemed fine for me to just go all the way with him. But I was wrong. He didn't love me, and how could someone who did love me let me fall apart and become the talk of the town? I'm so stupid. Well, I still have a way out. I muddled back to my apartment. The house was cold. Obviously Ethan Carter hadn't been back yet. The smart home sensed the intense light from the windows and automatically closed a layer of curtains. The light inside the house dimmed a bit, and I sat down on the carpet in a dehydrated state. Wanted to cry, but couldn't. A sharp ringing interrupted the quiet of the room. I picked up and it was Ethan Carter. "Where are you?" I opened my mouth, my throat dry and raw. "Home. Sound is hosting a party and asked me to make sure I bring you. Is it convenient for you to come over now? Pack up and it'll pick you up." Without waiting for me to say no, Ethan Carter hung up. He came quickly, and even when he saw that I hadn't changed, he only sighed softly. "I saw the pictures online of you. Don't think too much about it. I trust you." Huh. Saying that, he took out a skirt from the closet that extremely showed his waist. "Good boy. Go change into it. It's not good to keep them waiting." The jacket was removed from my body, and I suddenly raised my hand and grabbed his. "What do you believe about me?" Thinking about what they were talking about inside the hotel. "Ethan, so how are you going to play the scene with Sophia Grant?" Ethan Carter didn't say anything, but it was Lily Carter's voice that came out of thin air from within his cell phone. "Naturally, I want to make everyone, including herself, wonder if she is not self-love. As for Bro, just be her savior when she is in a mess. This will not affect the relationship between them, but also can give me relief. Bro, okay." After a long time, Ethan Carter agreed with her in an extremely doting manner. Good. And soon thereafter, the word promiscuous was crowned on the back of my private photos. I laughed bitterly. "What do you believe?" I tugged off my dress and tossed it aside. Weary. I don't want to go to the party. So go have fun with them yourself. Ethan Carter frowns, which is what he does when he's upset. Sure enough. Sophia Grant, don't throw a tantrum. Sonic knows about what's been going on online about you, and she arranged today's party specifically for you to relax. And it just so happens that she wanted to use today's party to properly apologize to you. His fingertips trace the bruise on the back of my hand. It was a nice gesture on Sound's part. Don't be ignorant. I was still being forced out the door by Ethan Carter. Before getting out of the car, I took my mask out of my pocket to put it on, but Ethan Carter stopped me. He gazed at me gently and firmly, as if he were truly a savior. You don't have to put it on. The cleaner the better. I believe in you and you believe in yourself. Okay. The mask was thrown out of the window and I was forcibly dragged out of the car. The moment I entered the rowdy bar, all eyes suddenly fell on me. The unsuspecting, the up and down looks, the lustful eyes. It was as if I could still hear unabashedly malicious talk in the corners. Look, look, look. It's her, isn't it? Looks pretty high and quiet. Didn't realize she's so wavy behind her back. That's her. I will always remember that face in the photo. See, what a fucking bitch. The body is even the bitch of bitches. Ha 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 ha. I stiffened my spine and fought back the nausea as Ethan Carter led me into the booth. The moment we entered the booth, Ethan Carter let go of my hand. I kept my head down, panicked, looking at the tips of the shoes in front of me, trying to find that hint of a familiar flavor in them. But no, the eyes in the booth were stickier, more naked, and more disgusting than outside. I'm not feeling well. I'm going back. I turned to leave, but I was hoisted up by my wrists, my rough thumbs circling my skin, provoking goosebumps. The man pulling me was one of Ethan Carter's best friends and the one who had been the loudest flirt that day in the hotel bellroom. He looked at me, his eyes naked. Why sis you leaving all of a sudden? It's hard to get out and get together. So what's the point of not having a good time with us? The meaning of the words was unclear and made me sick to my stomach and breathless. Lily Carter poked her head out from behind her with a pure smile. Geez, what are you guys doing? Scaring my future sister-in-law. She forced me through the doorway and into the middle of the booth, the overhead lights beating down on me, giving me even more nowhere to pause. At that moment, I looked at Ethan Carter, who was sitting in the corner of the booth, absently shaking the wine glass in his hand, his eyes faintly looking at what was going on over here, not stopping it. The moment his eyes met, he smiled at me, as gently as ever. This is the kind of person that made me a street rat. A glass of wine was handed to me, blocking my line of sight from Ethan Carter, who looked at me with a smile on his face, giving me the creeps. Sophia, I was wrong about the needle thing yesterday. My technique was rusty and made you suffer. Today I want to take this opportunity to apologize to you. Drink this glass of wine and consider it as you forgiving me, okay? And those compromising photos on the internet. Thing. She pretended to be ignorant as she took out her cell phone and handed the photos to me. Her gentle inquiry mixed with embarrassment. Say sis, is this really you? If this is you, who took these pictures? You wouldn't go behind my back, bro. She glanced at Ethan Carter and broke off appropriately. But it's okay. I trust you and bro sure as hell trusts you. Go ahead, Sophia. Get drunk and get over it. Her woman effeminate look managed to amuse everyone in the room, who whistled in support. Even Ethan Carter snapped. He was a little helpless, but extremely doting. Sonic, don't drink too much. You're a nurse. You should know that too much alcohol hurts. Lily Carter beamed and passed the wine in front of me again. In that case, I'll trouble Sister Sophia to drink it for me. For a moment, all eyes fell on me, and I tried to politely decline. But Ethan Carter went ahead and answered for me. You drink it. Just think of it as your future sister-in-law, holding back the drinks for sister-in-law. I froze. What a funny thing to say when the person being toasted has to hold back the drink for the person doing the toasting. It's like I'm finally seeing Ethan Carter's true colors in this relationship. Past all that, he seems to put me first, but in actuality it's because he's never cared about me. Because he didn't care. It didn't matter. That's why he said yes to everything I said. Suppressing the bitterness on my tongue, I took the glass. Can I drink and leave? I'm tired and I want to go back and rest. Ethan Carter was stunned for a split second before finally nodding at Lily Carter's cough. The strong drink hit my throat and burned my body. Putting down my glass, I turned and headed out the door. This time, no one stopped me. The moment my hands gripped the doorknob, my body suddenly went limp uncontrollably. My reaction seemed to provoke the carnival bells of everyone in the booth, who cheered and screamed as they surrounded me in the center. The discomfort in my body made me so dizzy that I couldn't see the people and things in front of me. Even my breathing rate was disrupted. Realizing what was going on, I looked incredulously through the gap at Ethan Carter, who was peeling an orange for Lily Carter. You were with them, drugging me. The man who'd hooped my wrists earlier crouched down and spat smoke rings at me, the cold lighter slapping me hard in the face twice. This drug is called obedience drug. As the name suggests, after drinking it, you will be very obedient. What others say you do. This is Ethan in order to please Lily, happy to go to great lengths to get. Who let you so ungrateful to go to please Lily's dislike? I told you that Lily is the most precious thing in Ethan's heart. But you didn't listen. How dare you make her cry and apologize? How lucky are you to enjoy Lily's apology? You're asking for it. I'm looking forward to your performance. Sister-in-law. The shrill whistling filled my eardrums and sent shivers down my spine. Come on, wannabe. Learn to bark for the gang. I deadpanned, biting my tongue in an attempt to plead toward Ethan Carter. Ethan Carter, take me to the hospital, please. Don't embarrass me so much. But the indifferent look in his eyes and Lily Carter's gloating smirk melted together, leaving me utterly unable to grasp a single straw to save my life. Woof, before I lose consciousness. I see Ethan Carter take a painless sip of his drink. Keep it spaced out and don't play around too much. Don't worry, Ethan. After this drug wears off, it's guaranteed she'll forget all about tonight. I woke up in a hospital bed. My body sore and aching and my heart was in my mouth. Ethan Carter pushed his way in. He put away his true colors from last night and was as gentle as ever. Feeling better. You were so drunk yesterday after 2 sips of wine. You scared the hell out of me. Lily Carter behind him deflated and pretended to touch my forehead. Don't worry, bro. Sophia's fine. I looked at the ceiling with empty eyes as some broken memories kept coming back to me in my head. The dress I was wearing had been replaced because it had been torn by who knows who yesterday when I was uncontrollably being used as a dog for fun. Ethan Carter said something else that I didn't hear. It was a long time before he exited the hospital room with Lily Carter in tow. Get some rest. I'll see you later. Tell Sonic if you want anything. I lay stiffly on the bed for a long time, the memories of last night's humiliation attacking me constantly, leaving me with nowhere to hide. It was a long time before I got up and found my cell phone in the clutter on the couch, along with the dress that had been ripped open in the back. I don't know who posted last night's incident, but the way I was lying on the ground and barking at the dog was clearly photographed and uploaded on the internet. The half-leaked skirt, the laughter of the crowd, the dim lighting. Although it was immediately blocked, a number of people saved it. And the original poster also left a message that if you want the video, you can send a private message. At the same time, my personal information was exploded. There were constantly foul language text messages sent over, and as if my cell phone was infected with a virus, the phone rang one after another, noisy and physically and mentally tiresome. How much for one night? Address. Where can I be? Available for free. Any follow-up? Are you that cheap when you've had so many? I looked at the unsavory comments with blank eyes, then wrapped my phone in my skirt and threw it into the toilet's trash can. Before leaving the hospital, I asked my cleaning aunt to borrow a hat. I didn't dare to take a taxi and walked the 3 kilometers back to my apartment on foot looking for directions. I found out the spare phone that I don't use often at home and called my parents, who were very anxious on the other end of the phone. My heart was sore, but I couldn't even cry. Dad, Mom, did my application go through? Can I come to you guys now? I didn't want to wait. Mom and Dad were silent. Perhaps they had seen everything about me in the country. I was like a person who was about to be lynched. Completely exposed, standing under everyone's gaze to be yelled at, flirted with, and humiliated, with no dignity to speak of. Ching ching ah, come to Mom and Dad. Mom and Dad will take care of all your worries for you. Before boarding the plane, the shrill ringtone interrupted my thoughts. Looking at the caller's message, I decisively pressed pull black and turned my phone off. I managed to stay away from all the right and wrong, because of the shutdown. I didn't know that the hospital side had been in a mess. Ethan Carter was sitting on the empty hospital bed with his face as black as the bottom of a pot, and all the people who had played in the private room yesterday stood to the side with fear and trembling, including Lily Carter. It was a long time before the man who had hooped my wrists yesterday came running into the hospital room, panting and panting. Sung, Ethan, it's not good. I've asked around. That drug you messed with doesn't have the effect of making people lose their memories when they wake up. We seem to played a big game. When I got off the plane, I threw the spare in the airport trash can. Mom and Dad were waiting for me outside the airport early, and the moment we hugged, I felt like I'd come alive. Dad, Mom, my voice choked with red eyes. Everything I had experienced at home had left me unsure of how to speak. Mom and Dad understood and hugged me, patting my back like they did when I was a kid, putting me to sleep. Don't worry. It's all in the past. It's all in the past. Mom and Dad told me that at the moment I boarded the plane. All the compromising photos and videos in the country were blocked at the same time. Even the videos saved in my personal cell phone had file corruption issues and could not be repaired or viewed. Because of the large banning action, there are now many different opinions about this incident in China. At the same time, there are also people who have helped me get my name right online. I am the victim in this case from beginning to end. As for Ethan Carter, I still didn't know that he was looking for me like crazy in China. Ching ching, what do you think? Mom and Dad don't want to let him go. I was silent. Spreading other people's privacy privately, buying banned drugs. What to do? What to do? This night was the best night of sleep I've ever had. I had a long dream, and when I woke up, in addition to my mom and dad watching over me, there was a handsome doctor in a white coat. He spoke, his voice clean and soft. Junior colleague is fine. Professor and Mrs. I'll be on my way. Mom and Dad apologized to him and walked him out the door again. I looked at his back and just felt like I was forgetting something. After that I concentrated on my experiments, and became the experimental workaholic that I was once rumored to be in the academy. Mom and Dad often asked me if I had remembered or forgotten anything. I just shook my head and laughed it off. My other memories are not bad, only for my own love affair. All I know is that I was in a relationship with a guy named Ethan Carter, who was a terrible person. Alexander Quinn, on the other hand, was always very patient and reassuring to Mom and Dad. He was Mom and Dad's protege in the lab with me. He was the doctor I woke up to that day. He had a minor in psychology. I didn't know him well because he left the country a long time ago. After I joined the lab, my parents often urged him to take more care of me. Over time, he and I became acquainted. What are you staring at? Not hungry? The clean voice brought me back from my thoughts as Alexander Quinn lowered his eyes and looked at me seriously. Ignoring the question in my mind, I leaned over to look at the menu. Probably because I'm busy with my experiments. I've been lost in thought lately. Every time I've been out of my mind for a long time outside of my experiments, Alexander Quinn would talk to me and bring me back to my senses. The day I met Ethan Carter, I didn't feel much of anything. Alexander Quinn and I were walking down the street, talking about psychology. I've been very interested in them lately, and Alexander Quinn was very patient, helping me with each one. Sophia Grant, the man's voice was urgent. I turned around, but didn't find out a single memory of him. He seemed to have been looking for me for a long time, and although he was a little flustered, his eyes were filled with the elation of being lost and found. I've finally found you. There's so much I want to talk to you about. I was wrong about what happened in the past. Are you free? Let's talk. Okay. He reached out his hand and tried to hold me. Behind him stood a girl, seemingly in a bad mood. Dodging his hand, I took a step back. I'm sorry. I don't know you very well. And there doesn't seem to be much to talk about. It was then that he realized that something didn't seem right with me. What's wrong with you? I'm Ethan Carter. When I didn't say anything, he softened his tone again. Soph, are you still mad at me? I was wrong about that night, but then I stopped it. So give me a chance and I'll explain it to you properly. Okay. Lily Carter behind him finally couldn't hold back and cursed. Sophia Grant. What are you pretending? So played down. Weren't you a bully in the beginning? Didn't you love having people apologize to you? Now you're so happy to see my bro apologizing to you in such a lowly manner. Come on. You're going too far if you keep pretending. I frowned and glanced at her. Ignoring it, Ethan Carter scowled and yelled at him. You shut up. Get out of here if you're not here to apologize sincerely. Lily Carter bit her lip and didn't say another word. Ethan Carter set his eyes on me again. Soph, talk to me. Okay. I stared at him for a long moment, but shook my head. Between us, there's nothing to talk about, and besides, I'm afraid of being taken somewhere for a drink by you again. I deliberately bit down on the word drinking, and even Alexander Quinn beside me froze. On the way home, Alexander Quinn stopped talking several times. I looked at him oddly. Ask whatever you want. Alexander Quinn compromised, his head drooping in some confusion. When did you get that memory back? Or did you never lose your memory? I smiled. You don't have to doubt your psychology major. I lost that memory. But it came back to me a long time ago during my parents' tryst. The reason I don't bring it up is because, for fear of you guys worrying, you'll have to help me keep it to yourself. Alexander Quinn laughed and obliged, and Ethan Carter's appearance was left in the corner as a bit of trivia. But I hadn't expected Ethan Carter to be such a stalker. After all, it wasn't like him. I went to the lab with Alexander Quinn, and he followed me at a distance. Alexander Quinn and I sat in a restaurant and ate, and he ate outside the restaurant. Alexander Quinn and I walk in the park, and he waits at the park entrance. There were many times when I wondered if this man was still Ethan Carter. After all, he had never followed me like this before. Another encounter, and he was completely impatient. Sophia Grant, are you doing this to me because of him? He pointed at Alexander Quinn and looked at me as if he was looking at a negative person. I thought it was hilarious. Ethan Carter, have you had enough? Even without him, I wouldn't have treated you any better. Don't you have any idea what you've done to me? Ethan Carter looked at me annoyed. What have I done? I would have taken you to that party if you hadn't embarrassed Sound, and I told them not to go too far, and at the end of the day I stepped in to stop it. So what? I interrupted him in a stern voice. So I have to be grateful and thankful to you. That night's party was burned into my heart. Scars that wouldn't go away for a long time. Uncontrollably barking like a dog. Licking like a dog. Being photographed and videoed by uncountable flashes. Uncountable hands roaming over my body. Even if he finally stopped it. So what? Does the damage stop when it's stopped? Does that make it okay for me to put you on your knees and learn a couple barks to insult you? Ethan Carter was utterly speechless. He stammered for half a second, unable to even get a complete sentence out. I didn't mean that. I really want to talk to you. The 4 years of relationship between us. Is it going to end like this for no reason? I sneered. Or what else? To continue to be insulted by you and your shady friends or your adopted sister. It wasn't as if Ethan Carter didn't know who had spread the video in the first place. Knowing he was in the wrong. He even lowered his voice a few notches. I really didn't know about that incident, and I learned about it later, which is why I brought her here to apologize to you. No need. I interrupted, turning to leave when he wouldn't. Alexander Quinn stepped forward in displeasure and tried to shoo him away, but I stopped him. There are some things that only need to be made clear so there's no trouble later. Ethan Carter looked at me, hoping I could save face in front of Alexander Quinn. But I didn't. How much face did he give me in the first place? He compromised. In his story, he was also a victim. Sonic is my adopted sister, and as bro, I'm supposed to take care of her. So he spoils Lily Carter, giving her whatever she wants. It's just that within that favor, it's not all simply bro taking care of his sister. The reason why he hadn't poked that layer of relationship paper was because Ethan Carter's heart always had a problem with his and Lily Carter's sibling name. Lily Carter was brought back to the Jiang family when she was 10 years old, and the two of them couldn't afford to fake their initial sibling feelings. But I swear, after being with you, I really just treated her like my sister. And on the day of the injection, you did go overboard. You're Xingxing's future sis, and it's the first time you've met her, and you asked her to apologize and shed tears. Isn't that embarrassing for her? Xingxing character stubborn and love to cry. If not retaliate back, she will put her own body angry. Besides, they said that drug I checked on the internet indeed can let you forget that night. So I bought it. After the video passed out, that thing. His sound did not do right. But then you also let your parents block the video. Sound was also arrested to face legal consequences. Spent money to break the disaster. And then how? You should also eliminate the anger. Soph. Do not make a scene. Okay. He held out his hand to me, thinking I'd do what I'd done countless times before. It was disgusting. The day you left, I was really panicked and really overwhelmed. He dropped his eyes, like he didn't want to think back on the sadness of that day. It turns out that Ethan Carter went ballistic on the spot that day when he found out I hadn't forgotten about the party. He made a mess of the hospital room and went back to his apartment and smashed everything he could. It would have been horrible for someone who had never lost his temper to suddenly go on a rampage. When he didn't find me, he called frantically. When I turned off my phone, he spent money to frantically check my entry and exit records as well as my cell phone's location. When he found the location, he rushed back to the hospital room and found the cell phone that I threw away in a pile of toilet paper. Unlocked the phone. Into the eyes is those unpleasant words. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He choked out, shaking his hands. Almost the same moment he looked up the information about the Post's poster. The photos and videos were blocked and the police broke down the door. He and Lily Carter were taken away, as was his group of friends. After learning the cause and effect, he paid to ransom himself out. He couldn't go to jail. He had to come to me to apologize. To talk to me. Followed him for 3 years. 4 years in love. Said there is no feelings or coaxing people. His original intention was just to give me a little lesson. As long as it makes the sound happy, he will immediately call it off. I really didn't think those videos would get out. By the time he realized it, it was too late. He didn't know how to face it. He had clearly instructed everyone not to allow the videos to go out. With this legal consequence, he had wanted to teach Lily Carter a lesson. After all, she had gone too far. But when she spilled the beans, he was, the asshole. I'm sorry, Soph. I'm really sorry. Will you give me a chance to make it up to you? I told her to apologize to you, to make amends to you. I sent her far away, never again in front of you to let you see upset. Okay. He looked at me, application earnest. But was that really all there was to it? Ethan Carter, it's come to this. Can you be honest? I calmly blurted out the fact that had been secretly filming and spreading my privacy. So calmly that there wasn't even a ripple in my tone. Is there anything else you want to say? If not, go away and don't ever show your face to me again. Dirty. Ethan Carter looked at me incredulously with shaking hands. I am sorry, Soph. I got up and left, never wanting to see the hypocritical face of Ethan Carter again. For the next 3 years, I lived and experimented peacefully, never seeing Ethan Carter again. The day the experiment officially ended, I went back to my country with my parents and Alexander Quinn. When we went out, I accidentally walked into the apartment where I had lived with Ethan Carter. When I first moved in with Ethan Carter, I had mixed feelings. It took a lot of shopping on and offline to fill the 120 square feet. Now that the building is empty, the apartment looks a lot darker. A passing aunt saw me standing here all the time and came over to chat with me. Do you have your eye on this apartment? Alas, I tell you, this house cannot buy Lou. See, the human blood of the house to buy will be bad luck. My eyebrows jumped, asked a few more questions, only to learn about the year. Back then, Ethan Carter came back after some mental abnormality. Had cut ties with the group of friends and paid someone to take good care of them on the inside. Then there's Lily Carter, who he took it upon himself to break the news that Lily Carter had paid to be head nurse, and then personally put Lily Carter in the hospital. She had a hand in taking pictures, distributing videos, and providing a way to buy banned substances, and once convicted, 3 years were gone. After that, Ethan Carter turned himself in as well. The two siblings met here 2 days ago after their release from prison. The once loving foster siblings turned against each other. And Lily Carter blocked Ethan Carter's way with her group of shady friends who had also gotten out. In the middle of the argument, it was not known who had first flashed his knife. Ethan Carter was seriously injured and is still unconscious in the hospital. Lily Carter and the others fled, and the police are making arrests. It was getting dark, and Auntie gathered her coat. It is said that those people are not a good person. In the first place is because of stealing photos of other people's privacy, spreading other people's privacy, and also humiliate others to go in. And now just out and do this kind of thing. I heard that people who commit crimes will return to the scene again. It's dark. You're a little girl. Go home quickly. It's not good if you run into danger. After thanking my aunt and leaving, I headed out of the neighborhood. Alexander Quinn sat in the driver's seat and handed me a bottle of water. Where do you want to go now? Home. A few months later, I was out doing experiments again. In the car, a couple of interns were discussing the recent news. Do you guys know about that case in our downtown area a few months ago where a man fled with a knife? It was rumored that the guys who fled were caught. The girl among them was even pregnant. She was mentally unstable when they caught her. I have photos here. Let me show you. Several people gathered around. Will this be sentenced? I don't know. This girl will probably be sent to a mental hospital. The others will definitely be sentenced, but also deserved. It is said that the one who was stabbed has not woken up yet. Have become a vegetable, shitting and urinating on the bed. His family has long since disowned him. To him thrown to the nursing home to go. That nursing home I know. Sometimes the caregiver annoyed will also be cuckoo hit people Lou. Aw. That is not no dignity to say. Yes. Professor Shin. You know about this matter. My eyes focused on driving the car. There is nothing rippling in my heart. I didn't know before, but now that I've heard you guys say it, I know. All of this. Perhaps, but it is all retribution.